So, John, have you met Richard before? I'm sure you
Yes,
have.
we
Okay,
yes we have met. Yes, we
go
we
ahead, John, and then I'm going to ask Rick to think about things because of all the coaches I know, he is one of the best teaching, behavioral coaching, and technical teaching coaches that I've ever seen, and he gets results. So, John, go ahead.
Hi, Wally. Yeah, I have seen. Can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Is that good? Okay. Yeah, I know Richard. We have met a few times now through a podcast and talk about this. Um, this is again fascinating because now we're talking about two different, not sports, but invention games and the way we approach the teaching part. So I think this have to do with the traditional way of coaching that we have been taught, either because an influence on the from the culture we live on and the way we approach personally or we experiment with it. So I think I've been doing it for many years. I took the approach of more ecological dynamics that we were talking, Richard is mentioning, a nonlinear approach means I let the players find the solution, yet, Wally, I think we all will agree that we need to design the training in a way they can get challenged to achieve what we want. And um, I think that's when these two worlds collide and the way we teach. Tom said that we can use both, and I do agree with that. I think you can experiment with both. For me, the experimentation stopped, I don't know, 30 years ago, 35 years ago. I took one path and I say I should refine this way of coaching. I believe the solution is allowing the players to interact with their environment, the practice, the challenges they face, and they go from there. And then you can give feedback. Of course, you have to give feedback. Of course, you have to set up some sort of frame. Wally, like you say, what is a breakout in hockey? Because I've done it. And I experimented with my kids, by the way. So, and I told them the idea is to get the puck out. Now, what is going to happen? I don't know. I can't tell you what is going to happen. You can tell them, well, this is what I want. You go low, and then you get the puck, and you cut close to the winger, and you can explain so many things. But I never believed that that was a solution. What I believe at the time is they have to find out the solution on that precise moment, on that precise action that is presented to them. So they have to be able to find solutions on their own. Now the breakout is there. They need to get the puck out of their zone. Well, I'll figure out. Wally, I always go to Bobby Orr and these great players. I don't think they need to be taught how to get the puck out of their zone. They know they get the puck, they get the head up, and they make decisions. And that's what I think the difference between this um, more free way of teaching, where we coaches set up, I believe you need to set up the environment for that. And when you challenge the players in different ways, many different ways, they will find the solutions under pressure when they need to do it. And I think that's critical to understand how we do things here. So,
John,
for,
before you go any further, you mentioned Bobby Orr. To me, that's it's not relevant. We're talking about kids learning, and I'm at a U13 level now, but whole ice U11 and half ice is great because there isn't a whole ice
mhm.
surface where they start off with a face off and have positions. So I'm I understand, and we all understand the idea of the thinking and going to be at the right place at the right time. In fact, anticipate and be at the right place at the right time defensively as much as offensively. And that's the one thing that uh, frightens me is that everybody looks at the pros and they think they should just get that way because they play games. And it may happen. I know teams that have just played games and have been very successful. And if I could do that and just have coaches play games, they would be better off than running any drills. And I don't know that we can swing the pendulum. I think it is something that coaches who aren't educated at teaching, that are trying to teach through deliberate drills because that's what they're given by the governing bodies. Playing games would be easier to do, more fun to do, and more effective in the long run. I think we understand that. I really struggle with that balance at minor hockey of free play. Um, I think it would work totally with all the constraints you can imagine. I like what you're saying, and I think the reason I